You are now listening to the iWalter Show. Real talk about nothing.
Faster than a speeding bullet, more powerful than a locomotive, able to leap tall buildings in a single bound. Look, up in the sky. It's a bird brain. It's a plane. It's iWalter. Yes, it's iWalter, strange visitor from another planet who came to Earth with powers and abilities far beyond those of mortal men. iWalter, who can change the course of mighty rivers, bend ears with his annoying voice, and who disguised as Walter Interanti, mild-mannered janitor for a great metropolitan newspaper, fights a never-ending battle for truth, nonsense, and the American way. And now, another exciting episode in the adventures of iWalter.
Hey everyone, this is Walter from iWalter. I've been off a couple days once again. I was at a Miley Cyrus concert on Saturday night. It's Monday morning at 1 o'clock on December 7th, which is exactly 3 months away from my next birthday, where I'll be 49, I believe. I am 48. Yeah, I'll be 49. It's hard to believe. The years go by really fast. I've been off again. I went to a Miley Cyrus concert. It was entertaining, to say the least, just because of the pictures. I had seen it down the Electric Factory. I've never been there before. I don't know if I really would want to go back too soon. Again, it's kind of difficult to get to. The place is extremely small. It was actually right across the street. The parking was placed at a union office that actually is affiliated with the one I'm actually in, a different division. It was right down from the Franklin Mills. It's called the USW. They actually run different types of union places. One of them is one of the places I worked at. But it was kind of ironic. I told my dad. He thought it was pretty funny because he knows what I was talking about. Anyway, I just wanted to get that out, and I will talk about, that's my main thing, the Miley Cyrus concert, actually. I really didn't want to go into any other discussions besides that and Doctor Who, because I watched the season finale tonight. Now it's just going to be a Christmas special later on this month. But anyway, sticking to what I was saying, with the Miley Cyrus concert, this was pretty funny. This was a couple days ago, I believe. A friend sent me something called Pervy Dad Sentenced to 50 Years. This man who's 43 was up. He can't give up the thing of putting things in Craigslist, which I never have used ever. Honestly, I tried it once and I had taken it down. It was just a nightmare. I have a friend who uses it all the time, but this guy was doing it to pick up young kids to have sex with them. And it does say pervy dad. I'm not going to go into detail because my main interest was not talking about these stories tonight, but I did find some. One that was actually funny, though. I was going to bring this up, but it was just too entertaining. A friend had sent this to me as well. Homeless couple found living in Walmart attic with a hot plate, meth lab, and a 42-inch LED TV. And a friend sent this on December 1st, which obviously was 6 days ago. But you look at this, the guy's 48 and his girlfriend is 54. And trust me, they look a lot older than I do. I'm not trying to, appease myself, but yeah, these people looked far older than me and my one friend that were both 48 years old. I mean, this couple looks a lot older. But here's the funny thing. Not only they were making meth and living on top of Walmart, but they were doing it for 2 years. So the only reason they got caught, though, was, it looked pretty nice. I'll tell you that much. They set up a whole living arrangement, clothes and all, which they got from Walmart. TV, stereo system, furniture, you name it. They got it literally. And I don't know how anybody didn't realize in Walmart that, hey, listen, there's somebody living in our storage area and, in the attic, because I know when I worked at places, we used to store things in our attics, places I work, like one place called I Got It at Gary's. It said they even went as far as managing to splice the satellite TV wire and order an NFL Sunday ticket as well. So, these people were pretty funny. They even got, like, I guess that was pay-per-view TV or whatever, when you get that, you have to pay for certain things on cable. They managed to do it and never got caught. The thing that actually was their thing that got them in trouble was that some employees from the Walmart, I don't know if I mentioned that, heard all this banging above their heads, and apparently they're the couple that was living above Walmart for 2 years in Memphis, Tennessee, were engaging in intercourse, it said, and the new headboard to their new queen bed, which they apparently had taken from the store, they were banging against it, so it made a lot of noise. And yeah, this couple also not only confessed to everything else they stole, they also had stole KY jelly, yours and mine, it says. So yeah, that's classic. I have to fit that in there. And God, I got a bit worried about how I'm not contributing to my share to the society, and you got all this other bullshit going on. Apparently that's feasible, because the focus should be on me, not anybody else, because that will alleviate all the burdens in our society, is by just basically pointing at the wrong people instead of the correct ones. It seems to be the new thing nowadays. Anyway, this was funny, talking about Walmart. I actually found this tonight, before I went on the air. Walmart changes title to A Christmas Horror Story, which actually Shatner narrates. It's a Canadian, I'm not kidding, because we always make jokes, a friend and I, about Canadian lifestyles and stuff, and we don't mean anything by it. We just found something that seemed feasible, and it's English-speaking country. It might have been actually a film I bought and I returned because I got the incorrect one. Now I'm tempted to buy it again. I didn't realize this. But yeah, because one of the stories is about this Krampus, which I want to see that movie, by the way. But it says basically they figured out that, it's a Canadian-made anthology film called, again, A Christmas Story, with 4 short stories. And I like these movies that have short stories. They're all affiliated with Christmas, of course, themed with Christmas. But now Walmart was afraid that it might be found offensive by someone by calling it Christmas, because they want to change the title on the DVDs, these boxes. I guess they're just going to basically lay it on top of the label to a holiday story, something that's less offensive. Like, apparently, if you're any other type of religious belief, that's quite all right to put on the store shelves. I remember there's this place me and my parents have gone before, our parents and I, to make it politically correct, since everything else has to be that way. But, the more important things aren't really that necessary to discuss. We go to this place for, I think, 20 or 30 years now. This place down in Cape May. And apparently, one year we went down there, and a bunch of non-Christian, I think they were definitely Muslims. This is no joke. Decided, like, we're going to rent a lot of rooms. We're going to take over the place, during Christmas, because we don't celebrate the Christmas holiday. But we request that you take down anything that remotely promotes Christianity, which meant a manger, which they set up every year for Christmas. All Christmas items had to be taken down. A Christmas tree could stay up, but anything that was relating to the birth of Jesus Christ had to be taken down. This was no joke, and I went down there that year. They actually also had requested that they put, because they're not allowed to be seen bathing. There was a swimming pool at this place. This is no joke. That they made sure that the swimming pool was an indoor one, had to be, this was Christmas time, had to be curtained off, and nobody was allowed in there or to look at them while they were in the swimming pool, because that was prohibited too. So, I mean, there you go. Now, that stuff is, acceptable, but when you, ask for things that you believe in, that's being racist, sexist, inappropriate, your belief in your religion or your personal preference is not feasible in our today's society. We got to be socially, we have to socially accept everybody else's needs and wants, no matter how bizarre they may be, or how different they are from what our country was made on or founded on. So that is really, really sad. I'm not like a practicing Christian, but, I am, basically a Catholic. And I think that's just ridiculous. And I tell you, if you need money that bad that you're going to buckle down to idiots like that, I wish you the worst as far as a business goes, because I think that's just ridiculous. Trying to get all these really bad stories out of the way because I really want to discuss other things. I think I did. Actually, you know what? Maybe I'll mention this now. It sounds appropriate time. I actually watched Doctor Who this season. I've been watching it since they brought it back on. It's hard to believe. It's going almost, I think, on 10 years now. It's been back on the air. Yeah, because it started in 2005, so it's exactly 10 years now, give or take, because they might have called it Season 9 and not Season 10 for some stupid reason. I don't know why. But, the new Doctor Who, Peter Capaldi, he actually surprised me. He actually turned out really good as playing the actor playing Doctor Who. But this new director has really kind of disappointed me in many different ways that, that it's, I don't know how else to put it. I'm just really appalled at this point. I'm trying to think, but yeah, one thing is the political correctness. That show goes far above and beyond. They changed the format of the show from what I remember it being like years ago. And, I remember growing up and watching Doctor Who, and, some of them were actually not politically correct. You're talking like more in the 70s, 1970 with John Pertwee up to 1974 were probably your most politically incorrect shows, but you know what? Say the least, they were definitely entertaining. I apparently did enjoy them, and I had taken with a grain of salt with the political correctness. What else can I do? I mean, I just enjoyed the show. It got a little bit better, less politically incorrect, I guess, and it wasn't doing it trying to be politically correct. Back when Tom Baker had taken over from 75 until I think 81 or 82. I don't remember. But yeah, before that, it was just basically, it did downplay women and their they were looked at as being feeble and stuff like that. And it got, even for me, it got very irritating. It was very, John Pertwee was not probably doing it intentionally, but definitely treated women as they were like kids or like they were not that intelligent. And I know that didn't do very well because the first season actually of John Pertwee was, which that was actually undermined it quite a bit, even though they tried to push that through. I guess it didn't do well. It was actually Liz Shaw, by the way, I think was the character's name. And she was a scientist who was equally as smart as the doctor, who was played by John Pertwee. And season one, it was basically his equal. Now, she wore short skirts, and I thought she was rather attractive back then, Liz, the character who played Liz Shaw. But right afterwards, they made sure to replace her character because I think she got kind of tired of being second nature to the doctor, which I don't blame her, but she actually did give more ground as being an equal as opposed to being a simple-minded child type character. And they made sure to replace her with somebody who would fit that role of just being simple-minded, like basically an airhead and stuff like that. And it got kind of irritating quite a bit. And it kind of loosened up a little bit towards the end when they brought in, oh God, I can't remember that character's name. She was really popular. Poor woman's deceased now. Sarah Jane Smith. That's right. I couldn't remember it off the top of my head. When they brought Sarah Jane, she was a little bit simple, but not as simple. She was a little bit more strong-willed, which was definitely good. Anyway, why did I bring all this up? Because I did go off on a sidetrack further than I really wanted to go with this. But, but I didn't mind it. It was Doctor Who. I kind of expected it. They always had their politics in there. But now this new director, which I could take him or leave him. I'm a little bit worried about where he's going. The new director is just trying to be so politically correct. I got to put his name because I can't remember it. I should say producer, actually. Because he actually has more say in it than anybody else. I'm trying to look for his name. I actually saw him in person. He actually does. He does also. He does also. He does Sherlock as well. So give me a minute to look this up. It's producer or director. Let me just put in Sherlock. And Sherlock actually got pretty bad towards the very last episode, too. Same guy who makes these. He uses a lot of the same. Stephen Moffat. He's a great director in some ways. And in other ways, he tries to be so politically correct. It gets actually quite a bit irritating. Now, the new Doctor Who, there were certain things I can't complain about that Stephen did. One was he actually corrected, I guess, a mistake he probably figured out he might have made. And that was he brought back Sarah Jane. He actually defied the timelines of the Doctor. And by the way, I like that. I really dig that girl, Macy Williams. They brought her back again. She is so cute. She's got really thick eyebrows, though, but she's an adorable girl. But they made her and the character the Doctor is with up until this point basically runaway. I would love to meet her, though. She is so cute, Macy. God, I can't remember her character name, at least. Clara. I just remembered it now. The character Clara, whatever. Yeah, I can't even say her name. I mean, you're saying you like this person? Yeah, I did. I did actually at first, and then they made her a really weak character. Then they brought her back at being strong again, and then they kill her off for her very last episode. So I don't know if he had this planned. I guess he did. But then just to make the climax for the season finale of Doctor Who for season 9, actually, believe it or not, even though it is technically 10, where the Doctor finds the missing Time Lords, because apparently the Time Lords were completely destroyed through a time war with the Daleks. And then he brings back, they do bring back the Time Lords. The Doctor actually finds the Time Lords in a roundabout way. But also, he tricks the Time Lords to do something they're not supposed to do and change the timeline and pull Clara off out of her timeline right before she was supposed to get killed, which technically you're not allowed to do. So he tricked the Time Lords by saying, okay, if you do this, she has information that you will need to find out about some creature called a Time Lord / it was a hybrid Time Lord. So that being said, yeah, it was pretty clever of him, but they also kind of fixed the problem, but it was also a way of doing the season finale, I guess, so to speak, where he said, oh, you have to bring back Clara because she has the key information about this hybrid. Now, the whole thing about the climax for the very last show was they were trying to insinuate what they did years ago when they made the American TV Fox Network was supposed to pick up Doctor Who and make it a new television series for the U.S. The BBC eventually did it themselves. But they made one assumption that the Doctor is half human. So they brought that back into perspective where, yeah, the Doctor possibly could be the Time Lord who is a hybrid, and that they were insinuating at first, well, maybe it's a hybrid between a Time Lord and a dialect, the monsters, which actually were humanoid at one point. And now they're actually saying, no, the alien, I gotta read this one, because this one's actually pretty funny in the wrong way. So, yeah, I gotta share this really quick, and I'll read the title of that one real quick. It just came up. But yeah, they were trying to go back to the story that the U.S. was originally going to pick up, and saying that Doctor Who was a partial human, on Earth. And they were saying this because, or insinuating this is, because one of the characters said, well, the reason you keep on returning to Earth, that would make sense. Why do you keep on having this fascination for humans, other than maybe that you are half human, which does make total sense, because he does keep on going back, even from day one with William Hartnell. Where did he take his granddaughter? He took her to the Earth. So it was definitely a seed they did plant in the last episode for the season. It did make total sense. What they did also, there was one character that Macy plays. She's immortal. He saved her life by putting some type of alien hardware into her dead body, brought her back to life, and made her immortal. She can't die. So she basically lived to the end of time, where the Doctor also had kidnapped after tricking the Time Lords to bring in Clara, his companion for the last 3 years he's been on. Actually, she was on for 4 years. Tricked them to pulling her out the second before she was supposed to die, the very millisecond before she's going to die, just to pull information, in which instead he had planned to kidnap her and take her out of the hands of the Time Lords, because he basically defied his own rules of time and basically changed them by allowing her to live. Now, the thing is, she technically, even though technically she was supposed to die within a millisecond when they pulled her out, so she has no pulse. She's basically technically not alive, and she's living in a time loop for however long it may be, until maybe they would ever find her or track her down. So she'll live forever also. So one thing I left out of this last episode, which made it really good, is the Doctor, he got trapped somewhere where it was in this out of time type thing himself in the last episode, where he found himself that he was imprisoned. He found his way out of his imprisonment. But the thing was, it had taken him, according to the episode, the last one, about 4 billion years or 4 million years. I can't remember. It's either 4 or 5 million or billion years. So, and when he finally escaped, he found himself back on Gallifrey, found out where it was hidden, because it basically was taken out of time altogether. So the Time Lords could no longer be harmed. So he actually did land on Gallifrey also. But he was without his TARDIS. And so in addition to saving his companion's life, who was technically dead in the episode before, or 2 episodes before, he also needed to steal another TARDIS that looked pretty much identical to the one Hartnell had. The only technicality was Hartnell's was actually green, but it was like a fluorescent green, which under black and white cameras, it looked white. And that actually lasted all the way up to John Pertwee's episodes, at least the first couple episodes, because they didn't change out, basically the what do you call it, the TARDIS main cord, or what do you call it, the machinery in the center, the the thing that runs the TARDIS. That was the same TARDIS, what do you call it? I keep on wanting to say console, but I don't know what you call it, the command deck or whatever. The center column in, whatever you call it, the control manual was exactly the same for both, or all three of the original Doctors, which was Hartnell, Patrick Troughton, and John Pertwee. So that was pretty interesting. So they corrected that, I guess, so to speak, because now it is in high definition Doctor Who. So they made sure everything was white. And Clara does make a comment. He says, well, this looks a little bit more better. I actually love the old setup with the rondels on the walls and everything looking white, which it actually officially became white when Tom Baker finally had taken over. Not at first, because he actually changed console rooms at first, too, I believe. But eventually, yeah, it was all white. Actually, there was a couple that were. He had two different, I keep on saying console, basically main rooms of the TARDIS where he could maneuver, the controls. One was all wood, which actually lasted only one season because all the wood got warped when it was in storage when they weren't filming. And the second one is the one that everybody was familiar with for the first 20-some years of the show. Anyway, I still haven't gotten to my point yet. I really went off. That's why I wanted to save these, actually, originally. But anyway, what was I going to say? So, what they did was, it could be a possible spinoff. I could see that actually happen where Clara, but she's actually, the actress is on a new show now. Clara and the other, she wasn't even a companion, this girl that Macy Williams plays, they actually had taken the TARDIS that the Doctor had stolen and made sure to give him back his TARDIS, the 12th Doctor's TARDIS. And they keep on reiterating in the last show that, listen, the Time Lord said, oh, we could take back what we gave to you. They extended his lives, that he can regenerate more than 12 times. And they kept on making sure that people knew that. Like, oh, we gave you how many more regenerations? We could take those back. Because he was, once again, defying the Time Lords. And he once again, which they haven't done on the new series, but they finally officially did it, they once again re-entitled him to the President title of Doctor Who. Because originally that was set with Tom Baker. The Doctor had saved Gallifrey many of times. And at one point with Tom Baker, he made himself Lord President of Gallifrey, which was was also mentioned when he was Peter Davison as the Doctor Who. But then Peter Davison said, well, you know what? You run the council right now, and hey, I'll still be the president, but I'm just going to do some other errands. So he basically took off. And from him denying or not being around to do his job, they basically had somebody else step in as as the president of Gallifrey. And I forget who it was, because I remember that was one of the things they said, listen, if you're not going to stick around, we had to put somebody else in charge. That lasted up until the new series, I assume. But now he's re-entitled himself to being the president of Gallifrey. So he was also referred to in the new series as the war chief, because he was the one who helped save Gallifrey, but he wasn't president. Kind of confusing a little bit, but they did try to mesh the old and the new together. So there was no problems there. I really want to read this story, too, because I think it's too funny. It's not, but I'll read it because I have no clue. It just came up now. But anyway, I finished my story on Doctor Who. The extra TARDIS that looked like the older one, bringing the companion back, I had no problem with. They actually brought back the Doctor officially now, the 12th Doctor, which I don't know how much longer he's going to be on, officially got his own sonic screwdriver that looks completely different from the other three Doctors, because I guess there has been 3 Doctors already on the new Doctor Who, if you think about it. It was Christopher Eccleston. It was David Tennant, who I really liked. Matt Smith, which number 3, and what do you call it? Peter Capaldi was number 4 on the new series, and was the 12th Doctor as well. So, yeah, that was pretty cool. The episode was probably, this is the second favorite one of this new series that I like, or this new season that I like. The other one I actually liked the second part. I'd have to say, almost I liked the second part of this two-parter too. They were all two-parters this season, all the episodes. The one with the dialects, when they go back to Skaro, the first episode was okay. The second episode part of the episode was excellent. Really had hit home. And actually, wait a minute. No, this second part, the first and the second part of the very season finale of this season, or the year of Doctor Who, actually, I thought both parts were excellent. Both the first and second. The first one was Peter Capaldi by himself being imprisoned for, again, 4 or 5 million or billion years, whatever. And then you're saying, how did he survive that long as being one doctor, one regeneration? Well, there was something that he was in prison that he was basically in his own hell. In prison, he was in prison in some type of hell where he would constantly try to find a way out of this imprisonment that was basically, again, it was hell. And he would get killed, but then he would be respawned as the same person. So it was like being in purgatory or hell for him for centuries. And he figured out a way over the centuries how to break out of this prison. And, but he refused, like he was being held in this prison also because they wanted certain information. I think the information they wanted on this second to the last episode was they wanted to know who the Time Lords did, and I forget some other race that actually goes back, believe it or not, to Tom Baker's era. It was this race of women. I remember the episode. I just can't think of it right now. I might have to look that one up too. Because I can think about it, but Tom Baker. I'm going to put in Tom Baker, Doctor Who, Women of the Planet. Not Leo Romano, Companions. There was one episode, actually, where there was a planet of these sacred women, and they were actually brought back. Yeah, I can't find it, actually. So I'm going to type it in, see if I can find it that way. Brain and Morbius, no. I'm putting Tom Baker's. Yeah, I apologize for this break because I thought it was going to be a little bit easier than I thought. Once I see it, I'll know. I'm looking through them now. Planet. Yeah, it might. No. Sorry about that again, folks. I don't mean to keep on. I know it was one of his earlier seasons. His first season of Tom Baker's Robot, Ark in Space, Suntaran Experiment, Genesis of the Daleks, Revenge of the Cybermen. His second season was Terror to Zygons, Planet of Evil. Nope. Pyramids of Mars. No. Androids of Invasion. No. Brain of Morbius. Seeds of Doom. His next season was Masker Mandragora. Hand of Fear. Deadly Assassin, Face of Evil, Robots of Death, Talons of Wing Chang. See, I think that one I'm thinking about, Tom Baker actually had Sarah Jane involved. Horror Fang Rock, Invisible Enemy, Images of Fendel, Sunmaker's Underworld, Invasion of Time. No. So it was somewhere in his... actually, I think, folks, the one I'm thinking about was... I'm drawing a blank. I think it was The Brain of Morbius. But yeah, it was a sisterhood of something. And I can't find anything. Actually, the BBC website's not giving me, but it's the same sisterhood as actually it was brought back on a new second to last episode. Let me see. I think it was like Sisters of Call or something like that. Alrighty, I keep on drawing. Yeah, so it's the same. It's the same things. They actually brought back. Apparently, they're trying to say they brought back even the same actress, but I don't think they did that. But yeah, it is the same. Actually, the same people. Yeah, they said it, Sisterhood of Karn, I think it was called back then, and yeah, they came back again. They actually had issues back with Tom Baker's Doctor Who, these Sisters of Karn with the Time Lords, but for some reason they punished the Doctor in this recent episode with his newest regeneration. And for, like, again, I think it was 4 or 5 billion or million years. So, and all they wanted to know is who this hybrid was. And the Doctor refused to let them know. So he suffered through torment for centuries, basically. And yeah, it was actually pretty good. But I didn't have a problem with that either. I mean, I thought all of it was excellent. My problem, though, because I've been really beating around the bush, was with this new director, producer, whatever you want to call him, Stephen Moffat, is he keeps on doing things that I don't really like. Like, he took a character, and God, that just is an insult. Just to be politically correct, that's honestly, it's horrible. But it was the Master, and they changed him into a female called Missy. Now, it's all due respects, that is paying no respect for the original actor who played the part. The original actor who played the part was Roger Delgado, and he died in real life in a car accident at a rather young age. And to now change this character to a female is just a slap in the face to the original actor who that part was made for. They always kept the actor a male actor. So to me, I love the woman who plays the villain, but they could have easily made her a separate villain, a different villain, and made her a somebody else other than we got to be politically correct. And now with this day with gender issues and stuff like that, we got to make sure that these Time Lords can not only change their bodies, at will, but they can also change your sex. So that was majorly disappointing. That's always been a thorn in my side. So this director goes one step further. Now, everything else, he's been going backwards with old school things with the Doctor Who, like making the old TARDIS, which still is out in time and space, with two other people now in control of it. They're both immortals. which would be great for a separate show. If you want to be politically correct, take these other two women, and if you give them a good offer, make another show other than Doctor Who. You can make all the political correctness you want. But don't do it to a show that's over 50 years old and has never had an issue. But that's what he's doing right now, and that's what really bothers me. So anyway, that being said, he now went one step further where the doctor says, how many he was trying to escape from one of these Gallifreyan Time Lord, guards. And the head of the guards. And he asked the guard, he said, how many regenerations do you have left? And he says, well, I have on my 10th right now. He says, well, good luck. He says, because he wanted to get away from this guard. So he shot and killed him, knowing that he wouldn't die. He would just regenerate. And so he could escape the doctor. So that being said, the guy regenerated not only into a woman, he also regenerated into a black woman. So that to me was like, you're really pushing the envelope. They really want to push the issue, this director, producer, that he really will push it, that he'll make the doctor, who's been the same British character for the last 50 years, into a black person or a woman. And I'm not saying, or some other nationality. And it's like, listen, that is one thing I could never do. If I was an excellent actor, or if I was, I'm trying to think, some American actor. Crap. Now I'm drawing a blank. Like Harrison Ford. There is no way that Harrison Ford could get the part of Doctor Who because he's American. Now he's just trying to push the gender issue, the racial issue into a different direction, and by now making a Time Lord not only into a woman but a black woman. It's like, listen, how far can you push this issue? You know that the rules for that the whole Doctor Who thing was the character was always going to be the same, but now you're changing gender and race of different characters. I don't care, what you do with anything else, but this is one show that's been sacred to me for years, and it just doesn't make any sense. It's going to be doomed to fail if he continues in the direction he is with this political correctness. So if this continues, what I was ready to say, I really hope that this producer will eventually step down and let somebody else take over who's less politically correct. The man who originally brought the show back, in real life, the man's gay, and he didn't make Doctor Who homosexual or anything like that. No, he kept it close to the way the show was originally intended to be. But this new director is changing, or producer is changing everything that Doctor Who was founded on, what it was supposed to be, just to make it politically correct. Next, her make the Doctor Who into a Muslim or something like that. I sounds really vicious of me, but I'm telling you, the direction he's going is just going to really ruin it for most people. Now, a lot of people that are females like the new villain of Missy, but Missy was not the master. She is still not the master to me. And I would love to see somebody write and say, well, hey, this was all a big joke. Missy is actually not the master after all. That would make me so happy because I am so appalled by the way they've changed that too. So anyway, that was the part that really bothered me with Doctor Who. I have some stuff I did want to talk about with the Miley Cyrus thing, but I went off on this other thing. Anyway, the thing I just posted was on the morning call. It just went up now, or this morning, and it says Allentown Police officer thoughts machete welding robber at Big Woody's. So my nickname's Woody, so I saw this. I had to definitely post this right away. Allentown police officer stopped a man welding a machete early Sunday morning from robbing Big Woody's sports bar and restaurant, according to authorities. The officer spotted the man standing in the restaurant parking lot at 702 Hanover Avenue while on routine patrol just after 1 a.m. and thought it was suspicious because the man had something covering his face, according to police. So I did say 1 a.m., so this happened like about a half an hour ago. because it says AM. The officer drove, swung around the block, and went into the Big Woodies, where he found the man with a machete in the air, threatening 3 people and demanding money from an employee. The officer chased the suspect, and with the help of the other officers who were called to the scene, subdued the suspect in the 600 block of Hanover Avenue with no shots fired. This time, the good guys won, said Assistant Chief Gail Strauss. Strauss said authorities will release the name of the suspect after he is arraigned later Sunday on charges of robbery, attempted theft, simple assault, and criminal mischief. Mischief. Whatever. So that actually could have been yesterday, but it says Sunday 1 a.m., so I assume they might have meant, because technically, even though it's Monday morning, most people would call it Sunday morning, Monday morning. I don't know. Either way, I just thought that was kind of entertaining, but it did have my name in there, too. Yeah, I did have some lighter stories, too. I hope I didn't close them out. Actually, one was I tempted to buy, like, I don't need this. I don't need anything I got. I actually did straighten out I consolidate all my debts again, get myself under control before the end of the year, which is only 3 weeks left, 4 weeks possibly, if you think of it technically. Let me look. I'll open my time and date on my thing. And 1, 2, 3. Technically, there's 4 weeks left of this year, even though this was a long month this month. And I got to call work in the next week. Anyway, I saw these shirts on Jessica Jones. Actually, David Tennant posted one because it had his face on there, too. And I actually really dig Jessica Jones. I didn't like the series too much. And I thought the actress who played the part was a little bit too... they made her look pretty, I don't know how to say, like she was strung out on drugs or something like that. But overall, I thought the show was pretty good. Not excellent, but it was pretty good. And, yeah, they got all these Jessica Jones T-shirts that are pretty interesting looking. They're like $14. They're on sale right now, but the price is actually going to go up. Unfortunately, Nalia was $7 delivery though. So, but yeah, it's an okay show. I'm going to do this later on. But David Tennant was pushing it because they have one with his character and the actress who plays Jessica Jones. And the reason I'm bringing that up too, actually, was I love to see David Tennant again at a comic book convention, which I doubt they will. And the actress, because they're touring all around. David Tennant and the actress who played Jessica Jones around the U.S. right now. And the actress, actually, I can't remember her name. She played in, she looked like Betty Page, though, at this other point in her acting career. She played in Breaking Bad. She's actually from Pennsylvania. The actress was originally from upstate Pennsylvania, not too far from where my friend lives up in Wilkesboro. So, yeah, so it'd be pretty cool just to see if that would be a reason they could bring him back, because normally they don't bring the same actors back to Philadelphia at these Comic Cons. They always change where they show up. But you know what? I wish they would make reconsider it, because David Tennant was very friendly when I saw him. He was actually with Billie Piper, who was less friendly. She's a great actress, though. But I just didn't like her attitude. That's a different story. But I'd love to see those two together, the woman who plays Jessica Jones with Billie Piper. I mean, Billie Piper, yeah, not with David Tennant. He actually played my one girl I worked with. She loves that because I don't know if she remembers this. He actually did play on in one of the Harry Potter movies, too. He was the villain. So I vaguely remember that myself. Oh, by the way, the other 2 days ago now, this guy who played Max, I don't know if it's Bear Jr., Was born December 4th, 1937. December 4th, so that was a couple days ago. He turned 78. He actually best was known as Jethro in Beverly Hillbillies. Yeah, he turned 78 years old. It's pretty cool. So happy belated birthday to you. It's kind of funny. There's this thing called Jingle Balls coming in Philadelphia, and somebody actually wanted to see is going to be down there. It's like these different entertainers. One's going to be Selena Gomez. But there's it's a whole bunch of different singers, and there's only 3 out of them I actually know, and the rest I could care less about. And, it's not even worth it, but yeah, it's this Jingle Ball thing down in Philadelphia. It's done every Christmas where they get all these musicians, whatever you want to call them, entertainers, to come play out for one night before Christmas. Holidays, play their music, and they're doing it down the Wells Fargo. But I don't even know half these entertainers. I only know 3 of them, and Selena Gomez was one. I can't remember the other 2. One is one of the Jonas Brothers, and somebody else, which I can't remember. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to look it up. And that is actually done in Philly, so that's kind of cool. I still haven't got to my main point yet, did I? So this is put on by iHeartRadio also. The ones I do know, which I'll mention, again, is Selena Gomez, Nick Jonas, which I actually like Joe Jonas the best. I think he's the best singer of the... They're all really good. And Demi Lovato, which I wouldn't mind seeing because she's actually kind of cleaned up her act. She's kind of, it was a short phase. I guess she was trying to be a little bit more risky, and she kind of gave that up, which I'm kind of glad. She's actually definitely looks much better. She sounds really good, too. She found herself, so to speak. Anyway, I want to kind of throw a plug out real quick, too. Guy Monty's, I can't pronounce his last name. He actually has his own website. He's selling his artwork off online, and he's going to be around the local area of Pennsylvania, my neck of the woods. But he has his own website. So maybe since I can't pronounce his name, if you don't mind, I'll just spell it out for you folks. But or at least his last name. But it's his name, Monty, Monty, last name, which is MILNE.com. And he put underneath, the E is silent. So I still don't know how to say it. But yeah, he's got some artwork he's kind of pushing. He's actually a web developer. So I would say if you can, just check it out for him. The man tries, many different avenues. I give him, credit for that. And hey, he's selling his artwork online. So it's very cool that he does that. And he is a web designer too, by the way. So I got Monty out of the way. Very cool that he's doing that. Hey, this was kind of news for me, and then I'll go with Miley, I hope. Miley Cyrus. The Batman versus Superman, not only now is it going to have, basically Batman and Superman and Wonder Woman and other, like the villain, what was it, Doomsday, I think, or something like that. Well, now they're actually saying there's supposed to be, I didn't know this, but I heard this, and they were confirming that actually Aquaman's supposed to be in there. But it's going to probably maybe have too many people. But now they were talking about rumors of the Flash is going to do a cameo in the movie. And they said somebody, Trinity, I don't know who that is. These are all like part of this, which will eventually become, I'm trying to think of the Justice League. So they're basically solely admitting that it's more than just Batman versus Superman. It is going to be the whole entire Justice League. It's a prequel to the actual movie, that of the Justice League. So, and there will be some side movies as well. But yeah, they actually said there's going to be. I heard a friend tell me about this. I didn't know it was true, but yeah, they're actually building it up that they're admitting that it's going to be more. Doomsday is the villain, but there's going to be more of the Justice League in there than originally mentioned. So that's pretty cool. That was actually on comicbookmovie.com for anybody who's interested, because I kind of like that stuff. I need something to, entertain myself. Not that I don't have enough already. I guess maybe I can finally get to what I originally was going to talk about, which was Miley Cyrus. I did go to the concert on Saturday night down in Philly. And for some reason, I've been having issues. My one friend said he never does. I have major issues with my iPhone. And this is not the first time. This won't be the last time, but I actually use Google Maps as well on my iPhone when this happens, because I've learned from my past experience. Do not trust the iPhone maps, because it will get you lost. And it did. It actually, this is the second or third time it's done this for me. But it actually sent me to the right street, but the wrong building, like over and over again for like several times. And it was like, wait a minute, this is not even remotely close to it was close, but it wasn't close enough for me to figure out. So I end up using Google Maps, and it sent me in a different direction. And thank God I did this, because I was in the middle of an intersection in Philadelphia, stuck in the middle of the road where people weren't very happy to see me just stop to figure out what I was trying to do. But Google Maps did save my night, sent me to the right direction, and actually an area of the park. So I spent a little money. I got one T-shirt. I wore it like for about 5 minutes today, and I was looked at it as like, this is the most ridiculous shirt I've ever seen. It's basically, I'm looking at it now, it says Miley Cyrus in her Dead Pez, basically her backup band for this. I call it, it's basically, it's a side, I don't know, it's like music she made when she was on her tour music that developed out of her concerts. And this one, I'm looking at the back of the T-shirt, it says it's only playing in Chicago, Detroit, Washington, D.C., New York, Philadelphia, which it was, Boston, Vancouver, and Los Angeles. So that's what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cities. So she's not doing a full tour, and she's playing in very small venues, I would assume, because this one was definitely small. If you're familiar with Philadelphia's area, the Philadelphia area, this is the first time I've ever been to Electric Factory. It's actually not too far from the Ben Franklin Bridge. It's the size of the TLA or the Trocadero, and it's not much bigger, in my opinion. In fact, I think it's about the same size. And I was actually going to go see Guar there. I'm kind of glad I didn't, because it was so tight in there from the amount of tickets they had sold that I couldn't breathe. I was literally crushed against everybody else, and everyone else was crushed against me. But yeah, somebody else put up some pictures too now. They actually got better pictures, but yeah, I got kind of pushed to the side too. I didn't know I could put pictures up. I wish there was a way I could do that. Yeah, I'm just going to link my pictures to her link. My pictures actually didn't turn out too bad, because I get like a zoom lens on mine. But it was mostly, I would say teenage girls. Actually heard somebody comment. One girl said, oh, this is not the Miley Cyrus that was from Hannah Montana. And they made that very, what do you call it? They made that very, the girl says, oh, this is not going to be the same one we're used to kind of deal. So I thought that was actually, to say the least, it was quite entertaining to hear somebody say that. But it was a lot of girls basically in spandex pants, ultra, workout pants, whatever you call it, and pasties on their breast. And no, none of them were underage. They were all like college-age girls. And to say the least, I will say it was entertaining. I told one friend, listen, there's no way I'm going to take any pictures of any of these girls, because you're just going to end up getting yourself into some type of trouble. And that's all I need. Now, there was a bunch of girls, again, with these pasties on and everything like that, well, I was trying to think, that said, oh, well, hey, we want to get a picture with you other guys. And it was like, great, you can do that, but I am not going to do that because Walter will get in trouble for the same thing. Now, one friend kind of speculated beforehand, oh, they're going to be all like girls who watched Hannah Montana as kids. She's only like 23 right now. And it was like, I hate to tell you, they're about her age, I would say, 21, 20, early 20s, most of it. But there was actually some people that were about my age, possibly even older. There was actually one guy who was probably even, he was physically handicapped. He was either a dwarf with no hands or legs, or he was just a plain dwarf. I don't mean to pick on the guy. I don't intend it to be that way. But it was cool he was there, though. But he was in a chair. And, yeah, it was pretty cool to see him there, though. But what was I going to say? Yeah, it was, I think he kind of enjoyed it. I think most people did. But the problem was a lot of the people there, quite a few of them got thrown out. I think basically because they got sick. They got, from being crushed. And there were a couple people got escorted out. Mainly girls, because they couldn't breathe. They got claustrophobic. But, what was I going to say? Oh, she took a picture with somebody, a selfie, I guess, with somebody. But, what was I going to tell you, though? She, a couple people got escorted out. I lost my train because I'm looking at her Deadpez page. So I was just curious if she sold out, though. But I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought looking at Miley's homepage. But, yeah, they were smoking, I guess it would look like pot. I mean, they were actually lighting up. Some guy actually lit up. There was a beginning of a push fist fight at first with a guy. And some guy said, oh, I just want to be near my girlfriend. And then they kind of calmed down and they apologized to each other and whatever. And it was like, okay, well, thank God for that. I don't want to see a fight breaking out at a freaking Miley Cyrus concert. But this one guy actually, he kept on pulling out what looked like joints. But I think it's that salvia or whatever that Miley Cyrus is high on taking. She actually lit one on stage and started smoking it. And it just was like very unappealing to me. I'm going to go back and just keep on her page for now since I'm talking about her. But you know what? I couldn't even hear her music. And by the way, her new album, Miley Cyrus and her Dead Pez, is actually on that one web. It's on this one web link, what I used to use before Spreaker. It was another one. A SoundCloud, and you can get the whole album. You can listen to it. It's actually absolutely free. And I listened to it, and it's like, no wonder why this is not going to get released and why she's giving it out for free, because I found it very offensive, the music she wrote. Now, I couldn't hear her music because I was just too busy trying to breathe. I had a very difficult time breathing. I'm claustrophobic to a point when I had people crushing against me, even girls, that it just really got to me. And a lot of these girls got passing out, but the smoke in the pot or whatever it was not too, but it didn't smell like pot. It actually smelled like wood. So, whatever it was, I assume it's his salvia shit. Sorry about that, folks. But yeah, it was just, it was not very pleasing. And I wish those guys, or this guy who kept on lighting up these things, would have been escorted out himself, which I don't think he ever was. But I mean, I even went to a Al Jurgensen concert, and those people, I mean, he's all about drinking and doing drugs, but I didn't see the amount of appalling behavior that I saw at a Miley Cyrus concert. That's what's kind of weird. I'm glad I did it though, because I enjoyed taking the pictures. Though, don't get me wrong. The show was sold out. It said this show is sold out. So I'm glad I got a ticket. I didn't think it was wall to wall people. There was no room for anybody to move. But it was a very small venue too, so it's not surprising. So I'm going to cut and paste this to a friend. Because I didn't think it was going to sell out, but it did. But that being said, and the tickets weren't that expensive. I think you could buy tickets for like $20 if you really wanted to. So, go to, if you're interested, that is, I would say go to SoundCloud, look for Miley Cyrus and the Dead Pez, whatever, and listen to that music and tell me that you find that, oh, yeah, that is really, actually really good music. No, it's very offensive. It's about her basically having sex with guys or getting fucked up on drugs and having sex with guys and guys being too wishy-washy and fucking them and being high on drugs. I'm not even kidding. It's literally what the lyrics are to her songs. And it's like, it definitely uses the F-bomb over and over again. And it's just like, this is really ridiculous. This is actually very offensive, even to me. I don't know why anybody would want to buy it, and it is free. I mean, it's just like you're wasting your time even listening to it. I know she can do much better than that crap she put online for free, which again, no one is going to want to put out, or listen, put out a distributor. I mean, so. But one friend said, I could just picture her, she's lived her, 15 minutes of fame. And I think this actually proved it with this album. It's horrible and it's free, but it's horrible. Now the concert, like I said, I wasn't paying attention. I'm kind of glad originally I did sell the ticket that I had bought for Miley Cyrus. Cause what can I say? It was, I wouldn't, I'll have to look at what I paid for my ticket. I know it wasn't that much. Hey, actually, give me a minute. I'll pull it up. Give me a minute, folks. Hope I don't spill my soda. So you can still hear me. And I am away from the monitor. And I am back at the monitor. Alrighty, folks. Here was my ticket I bought. General admission. You could go anywhere. And trust me, you bought the cheapest ticket, not the most expensive. Because there was no seat in there at all. Yeah, I don't see a price on my ticket. I know it was like maybe $20 or so. I told a friend I paid $60. I don't even think I paid that much. Yeah, it actually does not give... It gives you rows and everything. It doesn't give you the price on the ticket. Sorry about that. I thought I could look it up. Maybe I can look it up, actually. Miley Cyrus tickets. Yeah, and I bought them after I saw the price of tickets. I was like, yeah, why not? See tickets, Vancouver, California. Doesn't really matter. Tickets are the same. Well, actually, these tickets might be more money. And she went on around 9 o'clock. I could kind of see why. Okay, yeah. Same thing. Like I said, like $20. I know I didn't pay that much. The Miley Cyrus tickets says 18. This is in Vancouver. $18, $19, $23, $25. That's why I did it. I told a friend it was like $60. It was trust me, I wouldn't even buy for that. It was like $20 for a Miley Cyrus ticket. Let's see what they are in California, because Vancouver might be actually a little cheaper. Yeah, they're about $50, $60. The Miley Cyrus in California. But again, I think I only paid $20 for my ticket. That's the only reason I did it. I was like, well, for $20 to get a Miley Cyrus, see her, why not? I told a friend, I said it was more money. But it was cheaper than I originally paid it for. But yeah, my price is not on the ticket, so let me put that aside. But yeah, taking the pictures was worthwhile. It was kind of funny though, because I thank God I was around some girls that were pretty friendly for the most part. One girl was kind of hilarious, though. She kept on taking pictures. I thought of Miley Cyrus, but what she was doing, she did take some pictures, at least of the concert. She didn't really care if she got Miley or not. She just wanted to take pictures of the concert. Oh, this is no joke. Let me move up my mic. So I want to get it closer to my mouth. Let me see if that works. So I'm sorry about that. So what she did, though, is she was taking selfies, but this girl was not taking selfies, you know, when you take selfies and you face the back of the entertainer you're going to see. No, she was taking selfies of herself facing the wall, not even facing Miley. So that made it even more entertaining. It was like, God, this girl is going one step further. She was so into herself of being at this concert. She took, I'm not even kidding, folks. She actually, the girl was very nice. She kept on saying, "Oh, I'm sorry for bumping into you." I was like, "You're not bumping into me, but I appreciate you being so nice about that." But she was taking pictures of herself and then post them on her Facebook page, and other girls were doing it. There was one girl who was so cute. She was very adorable, and this was actually got me interested in buying a Jessica Jones T-shirt now. But this girl actually looked just like the actress who plays Jessica Jones. She had that haircut and everything. She was so adorable, really tiny. I mean, I'm short. I'm 5'6". She was no more than 5'2". And she was so adorable, and she kept on smiling and looking at me, and she climbed on top of this trash can to take pictures because she couldn't see. At first, I didn't do it intentionally, but I blocked her, and I did it unintentionally. So then she climbed down from the trash can after a while, and well, I'm trying to think of the right thing. She couldn't see again, and it was like I kind of pointed to her at the end of the concert. I said, "You want to get on?" Kind of gave her the heads up. Do you want to get on top of the trash can? And she shook her head. Yeah. So I helped her get up. She was really nice. She took off after the concert. I was going to say, "Hey, if you want some copy of the pictures, I'll be more than willing to give them to you. You know, I'll send them to you. I don't care." But I did put them now on the official webpage, so anybody who was at that concert could kind of find me through these pictures now. But yeah, she was so cute. The girl was cute as a button. Very friendly. Most of the girls there, honestly, they were cute, very friendly. That's basically what I wanted to say. But yeah, I was trying to think of the right thing. But yeah, the obviously, because there's more girls there than guys. So what ended up put in the wrong address. The girls were using the men's room, and it was pretty funny because they were actually pretty funny about that too. Because there was, the girls were using the men's room, and this one girl, actually, when I was done using my stall, I said, "Hey, do you want to use mine?" And she said, "Oh, no, I'm just waiting for a friend." And she was, I think half these girls were drunk or whatever anyway, too. So I said, I use the stalls. I'm afraid of people seeing my private parts. See how small, I'm not even kidding how small they are. So I basically just hide in the stall. And I'm not joking about that, too. I'm not trying to make a joke. So, what was I going to say? I end up like, oh God, I'm drawing a blank, folks. I'm so sorry. I end up like, I wanted to, a couple times use the bathroom, go in the stall to use the bathroom, and every time there was girls in there, and it kind of gets me because it makes me even more a little bit like, okay, I'm worried about my private parts and stuff and how bad they look. It's even worse when you got girls in there. But it was kind of like, God, maybe eventually you're going to have unisex bathrooms. That would be something I love to see. Sometimes you don't want to hear certain things girls might be doing in the bathrooms, if you get my drift, if they're just relieve themselves and it gets pretty nasty of having flagellants or something like that. I really would rather not hear or see that at all. But otherwise, I wouldn't have a problem with it. So, that being said, It was kind of fun. The girls were funny, though. But the one girl, I said, hey, you want to use my song? She should have probably done that because she said, no, I'm waiting for a friend because the guy said, hey, you can't stand around watching because there's urinals, too. You can't watch the guys in the bathrooms. You're a woman. If you want to use the stall, you can go in the stall, but you can't stand around and watch the guys go to the bathroom. And I didn't think about that until now. It's like, yeah, well, that's exactly kind of why I go in the stalls for the guys because, I don't know if guys do that, but they might do that whole compare and contrast. Oh, hey, your penis is that size and mine's this big. Boy, what are you? Did you luck out somehow? So, yeah, so I just don't feel comfortable with that part of anybody seeing my my privates. So yeah, but it was kind of funny that part again. Being having the girls in there, one girl was tapping me on or grabbing my shoulder and everything like that. I had a Batman shirt on, by the way. I don't know if I told you. They had these Under Armour alter ego shirts. I've been buying these for years. So over the years, and generally I don't buy them until they go on sale, and I do wear those. I really do. So they finally put the very last one I didn't have, or I have a couple I don't have that I'm not interested in either. Batman on sale for at I think it was Modell's. It was on sale this week for $30. It's normally like 50 or 60. So it's like I love those shirts. They're very comfortable too. Well, not real. Well, they are kind of. I know I'm beating around the bush. So I had this Batman alter ego Under Armour shirt on, and somebody actually called me Bruce Wayne. They were being cool about it. But then I also got hit on by some gay homosexual guy or bisexual guy. And he says, oh, are you, because he's seen me taking all these pictures. I don't know if I said this before. I don't think I did. So he says, oh, are you a reporter or something? I said, no, I'm just doing this. Or a photographer? I said, no, I'm just doing this for myself. I put him up on Facebook, obviously. And he said, oh, well, you look really hot. And he says, I'd love to be your Robin. It was like, oh, well, thank you. And I kind of just ignored him, and he got the drift, and he kind of wandered off. Because he actually had a girlfriend, too. And he's like, okay, no offense, I'm not into this, guy on guy with girl type thing. Plus, I'm probably a lot older than you, and I'm not into that either. So it was pretty entertaining, to say the least. But yeah, I got hit on by some bisexual guy with his girlfriend. It was interesting. But for me, having this Bruce Wayne alter ego T-shirt on, so yeah. So I just wanted to mention. I'm sorry, I'm looking at this stuff on the. Sorry, on the Miley Cyrus thing again. I can't help it. Some of it's actually pretty funny. But that was entertaining just to people alone. I would have loved to take pictures of, some of the people in the, that were dressed up with the pasties on and stuff. But honestly, you're really taking a risk, especially being a guy. I can't afford to take that risk. That's the bottom line. But I can't really say much about the concert because I really couldn't listen to it. I was more paying attention to the outfit she had on and the show she was putting on, and I tried to get the best pictures that I thought I could get. But unfortunately, was mainly being crushed. The highlight, though, were the girls around me. They were very friendly, so I appreciate that. I was ready to say to the one guy, yeah, the one girl, she did really look, I'm not saying that she was really cute, too. She looked just like Jessica Jones, the actress, the character. She was a really petite little girl. I would have loved to send her the pictures if she actually sees my thing on Facebook on what I'm on now, the Miley Cyrus thing, and links it to my page. Yeah, I hope she reaches out because she was just adorable. I hope she gets those pictures. I didn't get any of her, so I would have loved to. I really was actually ready to ask her because she had a very unique, in a good way, unique look, and she definitely looked like the character of Jessica Jones. I don't know if she intended to do that, but she definitely did look that way. Unfortunately, I was surprised, though, which it shouldn't be, going back to what my friend said with Miley Cyrus, where she's probably just about on her final thing of being, the end of her career. And I have a lot of hope for Miley Cyrus. I actually got somebody who liked my picture, and apparently was supposed to be Miley Cyrus herself. But I hate to say this, I think she was so freaking out of it, probably high on drugs, no offense to Miley, that she probably saw the picture because I put Miley Cyrus on there, and she automatically said, she liked the picture. So I actually automatically, I think it was on Twitter, actually. Let me go to my Twitter page. And I never got a response back. I said, "Hey, I liked the concert, and thank you for acknowledging my picture," but never heard back. So, you know what that's telling me? She probably was like fucking around with pictures that people put up, and this really could give two shits who actually took the picture of her. So, she really could care less. Let's face it. But, hey, I kind of gloated for a millisecond on that one. Let me see if I can find it now, because I think I know which picture she liked. And I put up like a couple hundred pictures, too, so see if I can find the one she actually said she liked. It could be a fan. I realize that a fan base Miley Cyrus page, but it said on the email Miley Cyrus like directly, and usually you can't pin a name of some celebrity unless it is you yourself that's pinning that. Let's see, likes 511, notifications on. I'm not very. Oh yeah, it's spelled different. It's spelled Miley Cyrus, which is actually a fan of also Lady Gaga, which she was on TV tonight. See, I thought because I looked at it wrong. It says Miley Cyrus Electric Factory. That's what I wrote. And one like on one picture, and it was a girl named Miley Cyrus. But it actually, she's got all posted Miley Cyrus pictures. So she's obviously a big fan of Miley Cyrus, too. Yeah, that reminds me. I'm just seeing on this Miley Cyrus page, he actually likes Leah Michael. Now, I adored Leah Michaels when she was on Glee, but honestly, I can't say I like her on. Well, I guess that was her breast then. I was looking she's actually got a picture of Miley Cyrus nude with her breasts exposed, and I kind of thought last night that wasn't really Miley's. I took a picture of Miley Cyrus and she had her breasts exposed, but I didn't think they were hers, but I guess they were. Yeah, so I honestly, I kind of would wish that Miley Cyrus would go back to her old way. Anyway, I was saying about Leah Michael, too. I love her, but I liked her more on Glee than I actually honestly like her on Scream Queens. And I actually bought all the seasons. I'm going to have to start watching it again eventually, and I think I will. Because, yeah, I just love that show to death, is Glee. I started watching it. I never really finished it out, unfortunately. So, yeah, unfortunately, I guess this was living for the queen herself, at Miley Cyrus. Well, maybe it's a fan base thing because it says the address is living for the queen herself. This is a Twitter page, going back to that again, at Miley Cyrus. So to have a Miley Cyrus, she must be taking care of Miley Cyrus's stuff. Miley Cyrus and her Dead Pez is out now for free. Smile forever. So yeah, it gives you a link to the. No, it doesn't. But you can find it. It's on her new thing is out for free. So yeah, it says Miley Cyrus. Well, slay is a term that was actually, believe it or not, it's used by Lady Gaga. She had that down for a while. So, but it says Miley Cyrus is the email address. So, yeah, I don't quite understand that. Yeah, because if you tweet, Well, there is a at Miley Cyrus, but MileyCyrus.com. And it is linked. Well, anybody can make that link. So I don't quite understand that. Yeah, so I really don't know what's going on with this because I looked at my email. I'll check again, actually. I can just put in Miley. I know this show is going to be lingering tonight, folks. I apologize. Because now I'm kind of just curious about this whole Miley Cyrus thing I mentioned before. Oh, wow. Yeah, I guess I paid a little bit more for my ticket than I thought I did. Not important because it's water under a dam. Because I found pick order for Miley Cyrus. Your card has been authorized for the amount. I'm not going to say what I paid because a friend here bust me on it. A general admission for December 5th. It was much cheaper than I originally paid for my original ticket, though. Yeah, I just miss. I mean, actually, one thing I adored with Miley Cyrus, she did do one time, is she actually, she did. Yeah, here it is. I actually have it marked. I didn't realize I still had it. It was on Jimmy Kimmel. She does this thing. She plays the woman on the street asking people, what do you think of Miley Cyrus? And she did actually a really good job. This was up in New York. And I got a kick out of it because some people said they don't like the new Miley Cyrus, which I agree with. But, yeah, let's see if I can find that thing. Jessica Jones. Let's see. What did I say was Twitter? Because I forwarded it to somebody because I thought I got a kick out of it that much. This mail, so I have to go on send to mail now. Yeah, I know. I'm just lingering on tonight. Sent to mail, Matt Todd. Okay. It says Miley Cyrus at Miley Cyrus liked one of your tweets. Miley Cyrus liked your tweet. It says Miley Cyrus liked your tweet. See, I saw that. I got a kick out. I was like, oh, my God, maybe I got really Miley Cyrus looking at my thing. But it was actually, I guess it's somebody, and it was only one person now. One person liked out of 300 pictures, one of my pictures. It was like 250, actually. But yeah, none of the other ones got any attention, I'm sorry to say. And I really spend most of my time taking pictures. And I got some really good photos, actually. From the distance I was at. It's a small place, but yeah, I thought I got some pretty decent pictures. So I'm hoping more people are kind of tuned into my photos too. Actually, I'll put that up. I just closed it out though. My Miley page. I'll put that on there. So. Sorry about this heeing and hauling tonight. I'm just a mess, folks. I just want to get this done with the Miley Cyrus thing. Yeah, somebody's got a really good costume. I don't know if it's a man or a woman, but whoever it is, I got to give him. Oh no, it says Heather Benson. My Crimpus-inspired makeup looked incredible. She did. I guess it is a girl. She looks really incredible. You can't even tell what she really looks like, but she made a female version of the Crimpus, and she made a mold for over her breast. She looks kind of cute, but you can't really tell because her face is really covered. I'd love to know what she normally looks like. Yeah, she did a really good job. She's really going with that character. Again, I'd love to see her face now. Yeah, she's not letting you really see. She's like a makeup artist, but I'll tell you, she's really good too. Yeah, I checked that out too. Heather Benson. One name I can't actually screw up. Yeah, she did a really good job. Sorry, I was actually trying to Okay, now here's a picture of her face. Yeah, she's a very cute girl, too. But she did this Crimpus thing, and she did a really good job. This girl's a good makeup artist, I'll tell you this much. If you ever want to find somebody who does stuff like this, look for Heather Benson. Yeah, she's really good. Anyway, I'm trying to look so that I can put that on my Miley Cyrus thing. Facebook thing. Not mine, but doing it right where I can. Free publicity for Walter. They're going to get pissed at me, too, I'm sure. Sorry about that. Sorry about this, folks. I shouldn't be doing this. But anyway, I'm probably almost done anyway. I apologize for heaving and hawing. But, yeah, I mainly wanted to talk about that stuff. I still have some hopes for Miley Cyrus. I don't know why. It's a pointless dream. I understand. Why would I invest so much time? I'm really not, honestly. I just would really enjoy to see Miley Cyrus kind of do what she used to do, because she's got a great voice. It's different. It's got that country sound to it. So hearing her talking about screwing guys and forgetting who she's screwing and doing drugs with a country voice just does not seem to make any sense. Maybe that's why I'm so fascinated by the whole thing. But I really enjoyed the shows and movies she used to do. There was actually a friend of mine, his ex-girlfriend was really into Hannah Montana back in the day, and he said, quote unquote, I always remembered it used to drive him nuts, though. Used to drive him nuts hearing her laughing over Hannah Montana. And it's like, well, dude, the show was funny. She did a really good job. She was, I don't know why she had to change from, doing the stuff she used to do. She was incredible. And I mean, there's nothing wrong. I mean, when it becomes a crime to laugh at a kid's show, then really there's no point in living anymore almost. I mean, that's the way I look at it. But it was definitely a great show. And I enjoyed her movies. I really did. I can't say enough about that. I saw every film. And they got a little bit emotional sometimes to me. They were actually made you laugh. They made you cry. So there's nothing wrong with that. So I don't know what else to say. I bought some mementos because, whatever you call them. But I did that because I just, it's just fond memories of the way she was. And I think I deliberately, in my mind, I think I kind of tuned out that the way she really is now. I kind of live in a state of denial, so to speak. I really don't want to know that she's a mess and, she does drugs and other stuff. I really could care less about that. And, just in case my one friend, if he makes it this far onto the show, I don't want him to think, I took pictures of her breasts because I'm like going to take care of business with those later on. Yeah, you know what? I hate to tell you, that was the least thing in my mind. Why do people take pictures like that? Well, I hate to tell you, very simple reason. Because, sex sells in any format. So you take pictures of a nude woman, what's that going to do? You're going to, which it didn't work this time, unfortunately. You're going to attract more viewers. That's your whole point. So, I've taken different, and I try to get the, I call those money shots. I try to get pictures of what do you call it? Close up, as close as possible, good headshots. I learned that from my one friend Matt when I take pictures. Just because it's just pretty impressive. You're standing so far back and you can get, a shot, a photo that is like decent and close and, looks pretty damn good. And I think I got a couple that were kind of like that. So, that's one thing. It's just, it's an art for me anymore to go to these concerts and try to get like basically some good pictures. It's fun. I enjoy doing that. And I really, honestly, I couldn't tell you one song she sang because I had no clue. I thought I would kind of listen, but I was more interested in just the photo aspect and getting good shots, good pictures. And I actually did. I had more fun, and that made it worth it more than anything else. So I'm trying to think if there's anything else I need to mention because I'm just heaving and hauling for time, folks, and I apologize. Now this show is just lingering on. And I've been off for a couple days. That also kind of contributes to why I kind of linger on. And you know what? Most of the time, I actually pull up some pretty cool stories. So I'll sign off. Like I'll do that in the next few minutes, moments, couple seconds, and I'll guarantee you there will be something that I'll see that I like. Oh God, I wish I would have was on just for 5 more minutes because I would have really liked this. So I'm trying to avoid that too. I don't think I'll see anything, but yeah, Christmas is again, it's a couple weeks away and I will call Christmas. I won't call it anything else. So I'm sorry if I offend anybody. Well, actually I'm not, but, it's not Happy Holidays. It's Merry Christmas. And that's the way I was brought up. So, and I don't see any problem in that. So yeah, I don't see anything too interesting. Somebody put up that was actually pretty funny, folks. I just thought of this. Unfortunately, they gear it towards women, but they're showing it. They're advertising on the Doctor Who TARDIS link. And I was like, wait a minute, I saw this coat. And unfortunately, it's for women. It's called the Doctor Who TARDIS coat. And it is really cool looking, but it's basically a woman's coat. And where do you buy that? Well, you can get it at Hot Topic. It's a very cool looking coat, but it's actually tapered towards a woman too. Unfortunately, because I looked at the coat, it's got like the whole Gallifreyan design on the outside of the lapel, and then the interior or inside the coat has like the what do you call it? I forget which episode that was. Oh, Macy Williams, she's going on my webpage. I love her. I'm trying to think of the right thing. It was a painting Da Vinci. I think it was not Da Vinci. There was some art picture that they used to make. It was in one of the episodes of Doctor Who. Well, that's the lace in the inside the coat design. Let me see, Doctor Who TARDIS painting. It was, I think, with David Tennant. Here's the one. Exploding TARDIS poster, it's called. But that's the inside of the coat. It's really cool looking, actually. For some reason, because it was supposed to be done by... let me look. I can't even remember the name of the episode. It was actually pretty cool. That's made like a lot of... what do you call it? The TARDIS. It's on everything now. Which artist? Oh, Vincent Van Gogh. I couldn't remember that. Yeah, there was an episode where the Doctor meets up with Vincent Van Gogh, and Van Gogh paints like he sees where the TARDIS basically gets destroyed. and he makes a painting, a Van Gogh painting. It's really cool, but they put that inside this jacket or coat. And, I can't say enough, but it looks really cool. It's like, yeah, it's one of these times, if you want to be a cross-dresser, that'd be one of the times you would do it for this coat, because it looks really cool. Sorry about that, folks. Alrighty, I'm putting this on my Facebook page. I put it on everybody else's. Somebody, Son of God, they put, I am coming soon with a thing of Christ. So, that's one way to piss off people. Put on my friend Todd and my friend Paul. Well, I got a lot of friends, but the immediate ones, I'm gonna put it on there. I'd be up all night if I put it on everybody's web link. Should put it on Patty Mullen's website, because she's a friend of mine too, and she actually does respond once in a blue moon. So hey, I would be kind of curious what she would say. So folks, I'm sorry I really milked this, didn't I, tonight, huh? But I thank you for whoever does listen to my show. Hopefully I didn't bore you to tears too much. And, please just continue to listen if you do. If you are, please try to get other people to listen in too. I don't mind that either. And thank you for listening. I've been on for almost 2 hours now, I guess, at least a little over an hour and a half. So thanks a lot if you are listening in, and have a good morning on this Monday, the 7th. Thanks a lot, folks. I'm signing off.